Hello, welcome to Storytime with Nanny. Yeah, you don't say. Let's not be too vocal, Summer. Um, Day 39, I believe. Um, we're going to start with Who Wants an Old Teddy Bear? And it was written by Jenny Hoffman. One day, the mailman brought a package for Andy. It was a present from his grandmother. Andy ran to his room and tore off the wrapping. He had been hoping for a toy rocket ship, but there was no rocket ship inside the box. Instead, there was a teddy bear. "Ugh," said Andy. "Who wants an old teddy bear?" And he kicked it aside and went outdoors to play. That wasn't very nice, was it? Andy stayed up late that night. When Mother said it was past his bedtime, Andy brushed his teeth and went to bed. The teddy bear still lay on the floor beside his bed. Goodness, Bo. In the middle of the night, Andy began to dream. He dreamt he had a special umbrella that carried him out the window and sailing up into the sky. Andy looked back. "Oh, oh," he cried, "teddy bears." There were big teddy bears and small teddy bears. There were teddy bears behind every cloud. They chased Andy through the night sky, far away from his home. All of a sudden, the sun was shining. The bears gave Andy's umbrella a push. Down, down, down he floated. He landed in a teddy bear town. The bears were very surprised to see a little boy in town. Where do you think he came from? They wondered. The little bears looked friendly enough, but a big dog barked at Andy. "Bo," and ran away from the dog. But he did not get far. Grandma Bear picked him up and wrapped him in a box and took him to the post office. What an awful dream. That day the mail bear brought a package for Arthur. It was a present from his grandma. "Oh boy, I hope it's an electric train set," said Arthur as he tore the wrapping paper off the box. Arthur was very surprised when he found Andy in the box. Andy was even more surprised. "Who wants an old umbrella boy anyway?" said Arthur, and he gave Andy a kick. Seems like in Andy's dream, at least, he's getting treated like he treated the bear, didn't he? Andy began to cry. "I'm not an umbrella boy," he said. "My name is Andy and I want to go home." Arthur was sorry. "Don't cry," he said. "I'll play with you. Come on, Andy, let's be friends." Andy and Arthur played together until Father said it was past Arthur's bedtime and Mother said it was time for Andy to go home. Arthur carried Andy up the stairs. He brushed his teeth and got ready for bed. Then he gave Andy a great big bear hug, and Arthur climbed into bed. Andy waved goodbye. The umbrella carried him out the window and up, up, up into the sky. Soon Andy was floating down to his own house. Andy floated through the window. His dream was finally over, and it had ended happily. Do you know who wants an old teddy bear now? Andy does. Well, it's got some name Arthur in there, but that's not the name of the one we read a day or two ago. It's a different boy altogether. In this case, a teddy bear boy. Excuse me. But Andy, I think, learned to be nice from that dream. This is The Cat in the Hat Comes Back by Dr. Seuss. This was no time for play. This was no time for fun. This was no time for games. There was work to be done. All that deep, deep snow, all that snow had to go. When our mother went down to the town for the day, she said somebody has to clean all this away. Somebody has to, you see. Then she put out to somebody's Sally and me. Well, there We were working like that when then who should come up but the cat in the hat. Uh-oh, Sally said, don't you talk to that cat. That cat is a bad one, that cat in the hat. He plays lots of bad tricks. Don't you let him come near. You know what he did that last time he was here. Play tricks, laughed the cat. Oh, my, no, no, no. I just want to go in to get out of the snow. Keep your mind on your work. You just stay there, you two. I will go in the house and find something to do. Then the cat went right in. He was up to no good, so I ran in after as fast as I could. Do you know where I found him? You know where he was? He was eating a cake in the bathtub. Yes, he was. The hot water was on, and the cold water too, and I said to the cat, what a bad thing to do. But I like to eat cake in a tub, laughed the cat. You should try it sometime, laughed the cat as he sat. And then I got mad. This was no time for fun. I said, cat, you get out. There's work to be done. I have no time for tricks. I must go back and dig. I can't have you in here eating cake like a pig. You get out of this house. We don't want you about. Then I shut off the water and let him out. The water ran out, and then I saw a ring in the tub, and oh boy, what a thing. Not the kind you wear on your finger, the dirty ring around the tub kind. A big long pink cat ring. It looked like pink ink, and I said, will this ever come off? I don't think. Have no fear of that ring, laughed the cat in the hat. Why, I can take cat rings off tubs just like that. Do you know how he did it? With Mother's white dress. Now the tub was all clean, but her dress was a mess. I like my white dress, I'd be upset. Then Sally looked in. Sally saw the dress too, and Sally and I did not know what to do. We should work in the snow, but that dress, what a spot. It may never come off, Sally said. It may not. But the cat laughed, ho, ho, I can make the spot go. The way I can take spots off a dress is just so. See here, laughed the cat, it is not hard at all. The thing that takes spots off a dress is a wall. Then we saw the cat wipe the spot off the dress. Now the dress was all clean, but the wall was a mess. Oh, wall spots, he laughed. Let me tell you some news. To take spots off a wall, all I need is 2 shoes. Whose shoes did he use? I looked and saw whose, and I said to the cat, this is very bad news. Now the spot is all over my dad's $10 shoes. But your dad will not know about that, said the cat. He will never find out, laughed the cat in the hat. His $10 shoes will have no spots at all. I will rub them right off on this rug in the hall. But now we have rug spots, I yelled. What a day. Rug spots, what next? Can you take them away? Don't ask me, he laughed. Why, you know that I can. Then he picked up the rug and away the cat ran. I can clean up these rug spots before you count 3. No spots are too hard for a hat cat like me. He ran into Dad's bedroom, and then the cat said, it is good that your dad has the right kind of bed. Then he shook the rug crack. Now the bed had the spot, and all I could say was, now what, cat, now what? But the cat just stood still. He just looked at the bed. This is not the right kind of a bed, the cat said. To take spots off this bed will be hard, said the cat. I can't do it alone, said the cat in the hat. It is good I have someone to help me, he said, right here in my hat on the top of my head. It is good that I have him here with me today. He helps me a lot. This is little cat A. Then little cat A took the hat off his head. It is good I have someone to help me, he said. This is little cat B, and I keep him about, and when I need help, then I let him come out. And then B said, I think we need little cat C. That spot is too much for the cat A and me. But now have no fear, we will clean it away. The 3 of us, little cats B, C, and A. Come on, take it away, yelled little cat A. I will hit that old spot with this broom, do you see? It comes off the old bed, it goes on the TV. And then little cat B cleaned up the TV. He cleaned it with milk, put the spot in a pan, and then C blew it out off the house with a fan. But then where it went, I said, look where it blew. You blew the mess out of the house, that is true. But now you made snow spots. You can't let them stay. Let us think about that now, said C, B, and A. With some help we can do it, said little cat C. Then pop on his head we saw little cat D. Then pop, 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 little cats E, F, and G. We'll clean up that snow if it takes us all day. If it takes us all night, we can clean it away, said little cats GFEDCBA. They ran out of the house, then we ran out too, and the big cat laughed. Now you will see something new. My cats are all clever. My cats are good shots. My cats have good guns. They will kill all those spots, but this did not look very clever to me. Kill snow spots with pop guns. That just could not be. All this does make more spots, we yelled at the cat. Your cats are no good. Put them back in your hat. Take your little cats, GFEDCBA. Put them back in your hat and you take them away. Oh no, said the cat. All they need is more help. Help is all that they need, so keep still and don't yelp. Then little cat G took the hat off his head. I have little cat H here to help us, he said. Little cats H, I, J, K, L, and M, but our work is so hard we must have more than them. We need little cat N, we need O, we need P, we need little cats Q, R, S, T, U, and V. Come on, kill those spots, kill the mess, yelled the cats, and they jumped at the snow with long rakes and red bats. They put it in pails, they made high pink hills, put snowmen, pink snowballs, and pink pills. Oh, the things they did, and they did them so hard. It was all one big spot now, all over the yard. But the big cat stood there, and he said, this is good. This is what they should do, and I knew that they would. With a little more help, all the work will be done. They need one more cat, and I know just the one. Look close in my hand, I have little cat B. On his head are cats W, X, Y, and Z. Z is too small to see, so don't try, you cannot. But Z is the cat who will clean up that spot. Now here is the Z you can't see, said the cat, and I bet you can't guess what he has in his hat. He has something called Voom. Voom is so hard to get. You never saw anything like it, I bet. Why, Voom cleans up anything, clean as can be. Then he yelled, take your hat off now, little cat Z. Take the Voom off your head, make it clean up the snow. Hurry, you little cat, 1, 2, 3, go. Then the Voom, it went Voom, and oh boy, what a Voom. Now don't ask me what Voom is, I never will know. But boy, let me tell you, it does clean up snow. So you see, laughed the cat, now your snow is all white, now your work is all done, now your house is all right. And you know where my little cats are, said the cat. That Voom blew my little cats back in my hat. And so if you ever have spots now and then, I will be very happy to come here again. With little cats A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and Q, R, S, T, and cat U and cat B, and little cats W, X, Y, and Z. And he left. Thank goodness. I've told y'all before, that cat just makes me anxious when he comes. He always makes the biggest mess, and then I'm always thinking, are they going to get it cleaned up in time? Because it's just, parents aren't going to be happy to come home and see a big, big mess somewhere. That's what I'm always thinking. What we're going to read next? Let's read Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is a little golden book. And it's Walt Disney's Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. And that's actually, I think, all they bothered to tell us about the book. That was it. So it doesn't list anything other than Western Publishing House Company is who published it. Long ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a lovely young princess named Snow White. Her stepmother, the queen, was cruel and vain, and she didn't like anyone whose beauty rivaled her own. And she watched her stepdaughter with angry, jealous eyes. The queen had a special mirror and owned a wondrous, and the mirror spoke. Every day she stood before it and asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all?" And every day the mirror answered, "You are the fairest of all, O queen." Excuse me. The fairest our eyes have ever seen. As time passed, Snow White grew more and more beautiful, and the queen grew more and more envious. So she forced the princess to dress in rags and work in the kitchen from dawn to dusk. Despite all the hard work, Snow White stayed sweet, gentle, and cheerful. Day after day she washed and swept and scrubbed, and day after day she dreamed of a handsome prince who would come and carry her off to his castle. One day, when the queen spoke in her mirror, it replied with the words she had been dreading. "Fair is thy beauty, Majesty, but hold, a lovely maid I see, one who is more fair than thee. Lips red as rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow, Snow White," shrieked the angry queen. "She must be destroyed." Excuse me. Oh, me. Sorry about that. The queen sent for her huntsman. "Take Snow White deep in the forest," she said, "and there, my faithful one, destroy her." The unhappy man begged the queen to be merciful, but she would not be persuaded. "Remember my power," she warned. "Obey me, or you and your family will suffer." The next day, Snow White never suspected that she was in danger and went off with the huntsman. When they were deep in the woods, the huntsman drew his knife, then suddenly he fell to his knees. "I can't destroy you," he sobbed. "Forgive me, sweet princess. It was the queen who ordered this wicked deed." The queen gasped. "Snow White?" "She's mad with jealousy," said the huntsman. "She'll stop at nothing to destroy you. Quick, run away and don't come back. I'll lie to the queen. Now go, run, save yourself." He is lying, but he's lying to protect the life of some innocent person that someone's trying to kill. Frightened, Snow White fled through the woods. Tangled branches tore at her clothes. Sharp twigs scratched her arms and legs. Strange eyes stared from the shadows. Danger lurked everywhere. Snow White ran on and on. At last, Snow White fell wearily to the ground and began to weep. The gentle animals of the forest gathered around and tried to comfort her. Chirping and chattering, they led her to a tiny cottage. "Oh," said Snow White, "how sweet. It's just like a doll's house." But inside, the little tables and chairs were covered with dust, and the sink was filled with dirty dishes. "My," said Snow White, "perhaps the children who live here are orphans and need someone to take care of them. Let's tidy everything up. Maybe they'll let me stay and keep house for them." The animals all helped, and soon the place was spick and span. Meanwhile, the 7 dwarfs who lived in the cottage were starting home from the mine where they worked. On their way they sang, "Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's home from work we go." The dwarfs were amazed to find their house so neat and clean. They were even more amazed when they tiptoed upstairs and saw Snow White, a sleeping girl. Said the dwarf called Dot. "She's pretty," said the one named Sneezy. "Beautiful," said Bashful. "Bah," said Grumpy. "She's going to be trouble. Mark my words." Snow White woke up with a start. "Why, you're not children," she said when she saw the dwarfs. "You're little men." The dwarfs gathered around her. "I read your names on the bed," said Snow White. "Let me guess who you are. You must be Doc, and you must be Bashful. Then there's Sneezy and Sleepy and Happy and Dopey, and you must be Grumpy." When Snow White told the dwarfs of the queen's plan to kill her, they decided that she should stay with them. "We're asking for trouble," huffed Grumpy, "but we can't let her get caught by that wicked queen," said Doc. The others all agreed. That night after supper, they all sang and danced and made merry music. Bashful played the concertina, Happy tapped the drums, Sleepy tooted the horn, Grumpy played the organ. Dopey didn't know how to sing or play a tune, but he was very good at wiggling his ears. Snow White loved her new friends, and she felt safe at last. But the queen had learned from her mirror that Snow White was still alive. This time, she hissed, "I'll finish her." With a spell, she turned herself into an old peddler woman. She filled a basket with apples, put in a poisoned apple on top. One bite, she cackled, and Snow White will sleep forever. Then I will be the fairest in the land. Next morning, before they left for the mine, the dwarfs warned Snow White to be on her guard. "Beware, strangers," said Doc. "Right," said Grumpy. "Don't let nobody or nothing in the house." "Oh, Grumpy," said Snow White, "you do care." "I'll be careful, I promise." She kissed him and the others goodbye, and the dwarfs went cheerfully off to work. A few minutes later, the queen came to the kitchen window. baking apples, dearie?" she asked. "It's apple pies the men love." Remember, she's disguised. "Here, taste one of these." She held the poison apple out to Snow White. Snow White remembered the dwarf's warning, but what harm can a poor old woman do, she thought, and that apple does look delicious. She bit the poison apple, then with a sigh she fell to the floor. Told by the birds and animals that something was wrong, the dwarfs raced back to the cottage. They saw the queen sneaking off, and they ran after her. As storm clouds gathered and rain began to fall, the dwarfs chased the queen up a high, rocky mountain. Up they went to the very top. Crack! There was a flash of lightning, and the evil queen fell to her doom below. But it was too late for Snow White. She was so beautiful even in death that the dwarfs could not bear to part with her. They built her a coffin of glass and gold, and day and night they kept watch over their beloved princess. One day a handsome prince came riding through the forest. As soon as he saw Snow White, he fell in love with her. Kneeling by her, he kissed her. Snow White sat up, blinked her eyes, and smiled. The prince's kiss had broken the evil spell. As the dwarfs danced with joy, the prince carried Snow White off to his castle, where they lived happily ever after. And that is a story that has been around for a very, very long time. But it had a happy ending. The evil stepmother, she was queen, but she wasn't a very good, sweet queen, was she? She was mean and was so jealous, and it doesn't matter if someone's maybe prettier than us, or smarter than us, or funnier than us, or it doesn't matter. God made us to be the best us that we can be. And that's what we're supposed to concentrate on, not be envious of someone else. Now, this is Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, and it's Just Kermit and Me. It's written by Ellen Wise, and it's illustrated by Donna Reynolds. "Kermit," said Baby Fozzie, "do you want to see my new book?" "Gee, Fozzie," said Baby Kermit, "I'm playing a ball with Scooter right now. Do you want to play too?" "No, thanks," said Fozzie. "Can I show you my book later?" "Sure," said Kermit. "After the game of tag I promised Piggy. Do you want to be it?" "No, thanks," said Fozzie. "Not today." That night Fozzie made a decision. Before they went to sleep, he whispered softly to Kermit. "Kermit," he said, "I know I have to share you. I know you're friends with everyone. So am I. But you're my best friend. So just once, could I have you all to myself?" "Gosh, Fozzie," said Kermit, "I didn't know you felt that way." "Sure, I'll play with you tomorrow." So Baby Fozzie and Baby Kermit began their great adventure. "Look, there's a crocodile," said Kermit. "That reminds me," said Fozzie. "Where does a 1,000-pound crocodile sleep?" "I don't know," said Kermit. "Where?" "Anywhere you want," said Fozzie. "Waka waka." "Fozzie, don't forget to paddle," warned Kermit. "Oh no, watch out for that big rock." "I have an idea," said the girl. "Would you like to explore that cave with me?" "Sure," said Fozzie. I knew I skipped a page, I'm sorry. It ends with, "Fozzie, don't forget to paddle," warned Kermit. "Oh no, watch out for that big rock." But it was too late. Their boat got stuck on the big rock. "We're trapped here," said Fozzie, "and there's no one to help us." Suddenly, a strong young girl swung over to the rock on a big vine. "Me, Skeeter of the Jungle, you bear," she said. "Hop on." She grabbed Fozzie and Kermit, and with a mighty jungle yell, swung them all across the river and onto the shore. "Well, thanks," said Fozzie. "That was exciting." "I have an idea," said the girl. "Would you like to explore that cave with me?" "Sure," said Fozzie and Kermit. The cave was very dark inside and a little scary. Something flapped by in the dark. "Ugh," said Kermit. "Bats." "This is no time to talk about baseball," said Fozzie. "How do we get out of here?" "I wish someone would come with a light." At that moment they saw a small beam of light shining on the ceiling. It got closer and closer. "I am Professor Piggy," said a voice. "I have been exploring this cave, searching for the fabulous jewels of King Cuckoo." "Wow," said Fozzie. Suddenly there was a tremendous rumbling. "Cave in," yelled Skeeter. "Look out!" At last the rumbling stopped. "Thank goodness we're all okay," said Kermit. "But how are we going to get out of here?" "Hey, I see an opening way up at the top of the cave," said Fozzie. "But how can we figure out how to get all the way up there?" "I can help you," called a voice from high up above. A face with glasses appeared at the opening high above them. "Do you have exactly 31.5 feet of rope?" "I just figured it out on my computer, and that's what you'll need to climb up." "Goodness, Little Belle. How about 31.5 feet of grapevine?" said Skeeter of the Jungle. "I happen to have exactly that much with me." In a minute, the four of them had climbed up the vine to safety. "Gee, thanks," Fozzie said to the friendly young fellow with the computer. It's a good thing you came along. What is your name, anyhow?" "My name is Dr. Scooter," was the reply. "I am a brave and hard-working jungle doctor." "Now, how are we going to find our way out of this jungle?" said Fozzie. "I'm ready to go home and have a nap. I wish someone could help us." "I will guide your way," said a strange fellow, stepping out from behind a bush. "I am the Phantom of the Forest, and I know every inch of the jungle." "Oh, thank you," said Fozzie. They all walked along the jungle path until suddenly they had, and I believe that's Gonzo, by the way. I think that's his name. They walked along the jungle path until suddenly they had to stop short. A huge rock was right in the middle of the trail. "Oh no," said Fozzie. "Now we'll never get home." "Me move, Rock," yelled a ferocious animal, leaping out of the shadows. If you're familiar with those animals, the Muppets, I think you know which one that is. He picked up the rock as though it were a big marshmallow. On the ground under the rock were lots and lots of sparkling stones. "It's the jewels of King Cuckoo," cried Professor Piggy. "And look," shouted Fozzie, "there's home. We're safe." "You know what?" said Fozzie. "Maybe we can have a day all by ourselves again sometime, Kermit. Just you and me." Kermit just smiled and gave him a red jelly bean. He knew they were Fozzie's favorites. I think it is sweet how they all played and got along, but I think it is a little humorous, but it's a little sweet. Fozzie wanted Kermit all to himself, and in a way, I guess, because that's the way they had planned it, and he and Kermit started out together playing by themselves, it ended up that everybody joined them, didn't they? And everybody got to play, and everybody got to have fun, and they all had a good time, and it all worked out. So that was good. But it really wasn't all by himself, like Fozzie, I guess, had in his mind. But they had fun anyway. And I hope y'all play and be sweet and share toys and with your brothers and sisters or your friends that come over, that your parents have come over to play with you, or when you go to somebody's house or your cousin's house, or that you play and you're sweet and share toys, because that's how we're supposed to be, is sweet to each other. And I thank you for joining Storytime with Nanny. I believe that's all we're going to have time for today. But tomorrow is another day, so I hope that you tune in again, and you have a great, blessed day.